Today I'm going to talk about the education gap between multicultural and Korean students. Table of contents is like this. Did you know that multicultural students are not properly educated in Korea compared to the Korean students? According to the data released by the Ministry of Gender Equality and Family in 2021, the college enrollment rate of multicultural students was around 41%, and this was a big difference from 72%, which is that of the whole nation. There is a little difference between multicultural students and Korean students in enrollment in elementary, middle, and high schools, but the reason why a big difference shows in college enrollment may be because multicultural students were discriminated against in quality of education in elementary and secondary education institutions. Therefore, if multicultural students do not receive proper education at elementary and secondary education institutions, and this leads to difficulties in entering universities, it is against the SDGs, which ensure fair quality education and promotion of opportunities for lifelong study. So I will analyze the cause of this problem and talk about the solutions. First of all, the reason why multicultural students did not receive quality education compared to Korean students and did not go to college well was because of academic interruption. This is proof that as of 2017, the academic interruption rate of multicultural students was 1.47% and 2.11% in middle school and high schools respectively, which is very high compared to the whole students' academic interruption rate of 0.7% in middle schools and 1.5% in high schools. The academic interruption of multicultural students is caused by school maladjustment, and one of the reasons for it is that the school study is difficult. If education in public education is difficult, students can get help from private education. At this time, parents' interest and role work a very important factor in student studies. But married immigrants are having difficulty in educating their children due to the relatively difficult language communication and lack of admission information. Accordingly, the participation rate of multicultural students in private education was very low at 66% compared to 83% of all adolescents. In other words, multicultural students lack a way to fill their insufficient school studies compared to Korean students. The academic interruption also happened because of a relationship with friends. In order to continue school life, there should be no problem with the relationship with friends as we spent the most at school. However, 9.2% of multicultural students said that they were discriminated against over the past year, and the damage rate of school violence was also 8.2%, nearly 8 times higher than that of all students. Therefore, multicultural students had problems with their friendship due to discrimination, which had a big influence on school interruption. Therefore, for this reason, many multicultural students dropped out of school because they did not adapt well to school, and accordingly the educational gap occurred, resulting in the university enrollment rate difference between multicultural students and Korean ones. Then how can you guarantee quality education for multicultural students and encourage opportunities for lifelong learning? In order to ensure quality education, multicultural students must be helped in terms of learning and school life. First of all, it will be helpful to support learning to prevent school interruption due to difficulties in school study. To do that, the first solution is to establish institutions for multicultural students after school in each region and to support online education for students who are living far away from those institutions. Through this, multicultural students who are fluent at Korean will be able to better understand what they have learned at school with interpreters, so dropping out will be reduced due to difficulties in school study. The second solution is to combine dozens of schools in particular area into one zone and then send professional counselors and interpreters there. Through this solution, parents and students will be able to obtain education information which is suitable with the region where they live in their language through systemic and incentive consultation. In addition, parents of multicultural students can receive help from interpreters in private education counseling, so they can send their children to educational institutions that their children need, which will expand opportunities for further learning of multicultural students. In order to prevent school interruption due to school life, it is important to reduce discrimination in school. Therefore, teachers and students should be continuously educated about words and actions that can be discriminated against multicultural students. If these solutions are realized, quality education in both school and out of school will be guaranteed to multicultural students because there will be no school interruption. This will lead to multicultural students going to college, and finally they will have a chance for lifelong learning. Thank you for listening my presentation.